Hello, this is Tom Mueller. I'm a university professor. I'm also a researcher, but most important for this video is that I am a 30-year endurance sport athlete. I've finished about 75 marathons, maybe 100 ultra distance races. I love endurance sport. My goal is always to encourage others to be fit, physical, and successful. Today I want to do something is bring forward something, many New Year's resolutions going on right now. It's pretty much the start of 2016, and I want to talk about what I call the most efficient weight loss technique. Okay, first the disclaimer. The ideas here, again, they're my personal ideas. They're only for education. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm not prescribing any treatments here. Please see your licensed physician before making any kind of diet or fitness changes in your life. I take no responsibility for anything that has pertained to this video or you believe is deemed to be part of your application of this information. There's the disclaimer. Okay. No secret, this is a commercial. I'm here to sell you my book. I want you to buy Mind Over Diet. It's available on Amazon. That's what this video is about, is how to read this book, build your own plan, understand the psychological techniques of being successful, and then moving forward. So again, this is a commercial. Buy my book, Mind Over Diet, on Amazon. Okay, a little bit, I can get it done. Okay, this was a shot a few summers ago, what I look like in May, and basically what I pulled off by, mid-July, probably about a 6-week turnaround. Now, I will say this, back in that era, a couple of years ago, I had a tremendous exercise base. I was running 50 miles a week, biking about 200, so, a big exercise base plus pretty much a perfect diet. That's not really sustainable. You can't do that for long. You can't do that forever. So I'm here today to bring you another plan, what I call the most efficient weight loss technique. Here's the big play. Food is more predominant. Food is greater than fitness. Okay. You really have to work hard on the intake and dietary issues. Fitness is good, but you can't sustain it with fitness. Here's a real quick example. If you decide to maybe midday you have that little hanker and you go to the vending machine and pick up that candy bar, it's probably 250 to 300 calories. Well, that is at least a half-hour brisk walk. So when you look at equating a bad food choice versus the related exercise, it's really hard to make up that difference. So again, think primarily about food and then complement your food choices with light fitness. That's what I'm doing now. I've really honed in on a diet that I'm comfortable with. My fitness is light. I'm doing maybe an hour and a half light aerobics a day. That includes my walking across campus. It includes maybe light spinning on a stationary bike. And I do use a total gym. Another video is coming on that soon. But the light, just real easy fitness, but I'm focusing on the food intake. I think that's what's necessary. Okay, and then what's your timeline? These are ideas. Again, I'm not going to tell you how to do that. You've got to read the book Mind Over Diet and put it together for yourself. What do you think is a good amount of time that you can expect some results? Okay, personally, I looked at it. I thought about what I was up to. I went on a 6-week plan. Now, I'm not saying that's the end of my most efficient weight loss technique, but I'm benchmarking from day one, and then I want to take a look again at 6 weeks and see what I have accomplished, okay? So what's your timeline? Think about it, read the book, and figure that out for yourself, okay? And then this is something a bit new to me. I used to always be about every day, weigh, get the stats, look at the body fat. I've got a body fat scale. Always looking every day. I think now I will not. For the first 6 weeks, whatever that initial timeline is you set, do not use a scale. Too many times I think scales are detrimental in that we have high expectations. The old paradigm is I'm going to crash off some weight, right? So I'm going to go hard for a week, 2 weeks, really not eating much. And I want to crash 5-10 pounds, over a couple of weeks, okay? You hit the scales, it doesn't happen. A lot of times you'll not have the weight loss you think you should over those initial first days, and you completely bag the diet, right? So let's do this. Set your time frame, set that initial period of time, stay off the scale, and just work the program. Don't benchmark your weight at first. My new thing is just start the program, build toward it, work through the period of time you set, then weigh yourself after you've put in that initial period of time. Okay? Don't discourage yourself. Scale can be a good tool. It can also be a detrimental tool. Okay? What are you going to eat? Again, you've got to figure this out. I give you step-by-step instructions in my book, but what's it going to be? Nowadays, you can look in the fitness media, the diet media. There's a big play out there for no sugar. Others will say no grains. I'm a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for 15, 16 years. Real hard for me not to eat grains because I don't have a lot of food choices. So some would say that, but sugar, of course, can you get sugar out of your diet? This is a whole nother discussion for another day, but a lot of sugar translates into fat production in your body. Okay, so search it out, look for it, get it out. Grains, think about it again. These are the things you have to determine. Read my book. Figure out what are the things you want in your diet and things you want out of it. What are those food contents you're going to deal with, okay? For instance, just the other day, I've got some issues. I got to get sodium out of my diet, okay? I was using a little bit of ketchup. I realized how much sodium was in a little ketchup. Then one of my other things, I like a no-calorie sports energy drink. I love it. Happen to glance at the label. There's a lot of sodium in there, okay? So learn what's in your foods, decide what it is you're going to cut out, and then get rid of it, okay? And then here, I talk about this in the book. What's your trigger points, okay? Trigger points are those things in your diet, those things in your life, the psychology that twists you around and probably pushes you in the wrong direction. Things that sort of get in your way. Interesting, when I was in college many years ago, I was a heavy smoker, but smoking to me is an all or nothing thing. And one day, I'll just tell you, 1979, I said I quit. I didn't smoke another cigarette. I was done, okay? Just took them out of your life, okay? What are the things you just need to lift out of your life? Alcohol, I don't know, about 8 years ago now, 7 years ago, I was in Paris, had a little too much to drink, got into an argument with another professor. I just thought, I don't need alcohol. Took it out of my life. I haven't had a drink in 7 years. I'm an all or nothing guy. It works for me. It helps me be successful in my diet or fitness planning. What are those all or nothing things you can take out? Now, again, with food, you can't just stop eating. So with food, it has to be about what are the big things you need to lift out of your diet that's basically a yes or no deal. What's your trigger? What's the thing that really sets you back? Here's my big one. I love dry roasted peanuts. I can go through a jar a day, no problem. I love to munch on dry roasted peanuts mindlessly, which is another bad thing. We can have a whole other video someday is mindfulness in eating. I love to mindlessly munch on dry roasted peanuts. Peanuts, massive calories, okay? I started looking at it. I was doing probably a couple thousand calories a day extra because I couldn't keep my hands out of the peanut jar. Trigger point for me right now, had to take peanuts out of my diet. Can't keep them in the apartment anymore, okay? Have to admit, yesterday at church on the snack tray, there were some choices. I did not have any sugar-related choices. There were so many sugar-related products for snacks. I did have a handful of mixed nuts. So I can't tell you that I'm perfect and it's like a cigarette where I never had another peanut. But I surely do not keep it in the house anymore, and I'm broke out of the habit of my mindless munching. Okay, so what is it that you need to lift out? What's your trigger point? Okay, once you're into the diet, I said it at first, don't use the scale. Don't track weight and body fat immediately, but what are you taking into your body and what are you putting out as calories? Okay, read Mind Over Diet. I'll help you set that up and figure out where you should be on calories per day. You can figure that out, but here's some stuff I'm doing. Pick one of your favorite calorie counting, fitness counting. There's apps out there, there's websites out there. Find one you like, and then start taking a look at. It's a fitness and diet log. Every day I figure out. I put in my food I'm eating. I put in the types of exercise I'm doing, and there's always a balance. And then my The site I use helps me decide if I'm eating too many calories or if I'm earning a deficit of calories each day. Okay, here's something else to look out. Look at what's the proportion of protein, fats, and carbs in your diet. Many folks nowadays, you've heard of it, the low carb diet. Keep the carbs down. Again, as a vegetarian, that's very difficult for me. Okay, I can't do that very well, but I do like to track protein in my book. Again, read the book. It'll tell you how do you decide how much protein a day you should need. What about fat, good and bad fats? And of course, this is how one of my days look, and I'm still pretty high carb, but you got to keep track of those things because it helps you stay engaged with the most efficient weight loss plan, right? Here's the bottom line. Most efficient, it's a play on words. You might say I have a most efficient running technique video on YouTube. Check that out. Most efficient means consistency. Most efficient means you can keep doing it, okay? You should never think of this diet, the most efficient weight loss plan, is I've got to crash and hurt and live in pain for X number of weeks and then I'm done. And then what? Then we pile the weight back on because our habits break down. I've been there, I've done it. But be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with your exercise. Figure out ways you can be inside a livable plan so that you can maintain the consistency as you push through, okay? That's how it works. That's the most efficient element, okay? Very good. Well, I'm going to back out of this now and back out of my PowerPoint. That's it. Thank you. I hope that helps, but there's a plan to it. There's a process. And I'd like everybody to get involved, help, leave some comments, post some comments on this video, but think about how you can build your own most efficient weight loss technique. Take it in the future. Have a great year. Okay, thanks a lot.